Hello guys, you are in for a wild one today. Please sit tight and make sure you listen to the whole story. It's a doozy. I'll give you the gist of it. Basically, there's a very annoying vegan in the family here, and this particular branch of the family likes to have barbecues, and this annoying vegan has been rejected from one of the barbecues, and they're not particularly happy about it. And the reason for this is because the last time that they were invited, they were going around basically calling everybody animal abusers and trying to make them feel bad about not being vegan, which would be extremely unpleasant at a family gathering when everybody's there to have fun and enjoy each other's company. You don't want to be bombarded by literal vegan propaganda from your own family. And as a result of this, some serious controversy stirred up within the family, and it just makes for an exciting roller coaster for us to all judge and laugh at. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Am I the asshole for leaving out my vegan sister-in-law out of the family barbecue? And also, just so you guys know, I will once again be eating vegan snacks. Oreos are vegan, fun fact. I think that's gonna be a thing whenever I do these Am I the Assholes. I'm gonna find a vegan snack to eat. I don't know why. I just kind of like the irony of it. I feel like it'll really piss off some of these staunch vegans. Be like, why are you eating vegan food while talking shit about vegan stuff, you know? It's pretty funny. Anyway, without further ado, let's continue. My spouse and I got a house, and we both have relatives nearby, including our respective siblings and parents. Last year, we decided to host a huge backyard barbecue party and invited friends and family. However, my spouse's sister kind of ruined it. She's a hardcore vegan. Hardcore vegan alert. We know it's not going to be good from here, people. So we'll call her Erin. If you know, you know. I don't know, but whatever. Everything out of her mouth was something vegan related, and everyone was pretty annoyed and mostly avoided her. If she wasn't going on about ethics, it was about health. She was basically shaming our older friends' relatives for not wanting to take care of their bodies. She told my father that his diabetes is from animal fat. Okay, let me just say, that is gotta be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. Diabetes is, well, type 2 anyway, is caused by mostly sugars, and animal fat doesn't really constitute that. It's a carbohydrate thing, not a fat thing. And if he has type 1 diabetes, which I don't know if he does, type 1 is genetic. It's literally just caused by your body deciding, you know what, I'm gonna kill off all those insulin making cells in the pancreas. I would know, I'm type 1. But what a beautifully insensitive thing to say from a vegan that just, you know, is supposed to be some sort of altruistic person that, you know, cares about the well-being of others. At one point, she even left to go to the store and return with a ridiculous amount of vegan frozen patties and bread and other items, and demanded we cook them up and serve them as an option. So to be nice, we cooked one pack, no one touched them. Not surprised. She was absolutely tiresome. Other than Erin, the barbecue was a hit. So we did again this summer. When it comes to Erin, my spouse and I disagree. I do not engage with her, and she knows I'm not fond of her. He and his parents think she is harmless, whereas my family freaking hates her guts. I did not know this until recently, but Erin got into it with one of my cousins, Mary, last year, who tried to be friendly with Erin, since Mary used to be vegan in the past, but gave it up when it made her sick. Apparently, Erin attacked Mary, calling her ignorant, and insisted she was doing it wrong. Now, this is something that comes up in the vegan community all the time. Whenever somebody genuinely has health complications on a vegan diet, it's always, well, no, you're just doing it wrong. Is there ever the possibility that perhaps maybe a vegan diet, just this hot take here, you know, don't fillet me and throw your pitchforks at me, all right? Hot take incoming. But is it possible that maybe a vegan diet just simply is not suitable for everyone? I know, I said it. I put it out there. I put it into the ether. But for real, I've brought this up many times before, and it's true. And I'll just give you a brief little rundown of the vitamin A thing that I mentioned in my previous video. If you want more details on that, you can watch that one. But basically, vitamin A is a vitamin that only comes from animal products in its actual vitamin A form, which is called performed vitamin A. What you get from plants is called a beta carotene, which is then converted to vitamin A. But not everybody's little beta carotene converter does a really good job at doing so. So if you're supposed to get, you know, I think it's like 2,000 micrograms, something along those lines, I'm not sure. But you're only getting 10% of what you're actually putting in your body because your conversion factor just ain't that great. Then you end up being vitamin A deficient. And as a vegan, you can only take those vegan vitamin A supplements. You cannot take the ones that are derived from animal products. You got to take the vegan ones, which are always going to be the beta carotenes. So if your converter ain't working too good, you're going to be vitamin A deficient. And that's just one example. So in other words, it's very possible to do a vegan diet perfectly correct and still be deficient in nutrients and be sick and unwell and lose your vision. Let's continue. So I did not want Aaron at this year's barbecue at all. Totally understandable. But I did not want to cause any drama. I didn't even bring this up to my spouse. I knew that Aaron was going to go on vacation for a whole week this month. So as soon as she left, I set up the barbecue on the Saturday right before she's supposed to come back. Ooh, you sneaky devil. Everything went perfectly as planned. However, Aaron saw the photos on Facebook and was pissed. She found out from my spouse that I chose to date, so she texted me that I am evil, heartless, and a bully for leaving her out. She also brought up other really personal things to attack me, so I ended up blocking her. Aaron has since ran to my spouse and her parents to complain constantly and won't let it go. So, what could I have done differently? Was I wrong to schedule the barbecue when she was out of town? Now, this is a very convoluted question. There's updates to this, by the way. This is not the end. There's much, much more to this. But this is very convoluted because it's about family, right? Now, some people, they see family in different ways. Some are like, hey, that's your family. No matter what they do, they could kill somebody across the street. They're still coming to the cookout. You know, some people are really loyal to their family that way, while other people are more inclined to be like, you might be family, but like that doesn't mean that much. Like if I don't like you, I don't like you. That's all there is to it. And I'm in the camp of Aaron, I'm in the camp of the original poster here of personally, I wouldn't go behind their back. I just wouldn't invite them. Like, period. Like, I have no problems standing for what I believe in. And if I believe I don't want this person at my cookout, I'm going to have the cookout. I'm not going to plan it around them being missing. I'm just not going to invite them. And I'm going to tell people, do not invite this person. I don't give a fuck about stirring up drama. I don't want that person at my cookout. Then they ain't going to be there. And if you're like, well, I'm not going to go because this person doesn't go, good, stay the fuck home. I don't care. Call me petty or whatever, but that's how I feel. And my wife's the same way. She'd do the same thing, trust me. On the low, we tried to avoid inviting some people to our wedding, but we ended up having to cave, but it is what it is. So from my point of view, no, I don't think you're necessarily an asshole for doing it behind their back. I mean, personally, like I said, I would have been upfront about it. But either way, I feel like it's fine. Like, it's your cookout. If you don't want someone in there because they're a thorn in your side, because they're an annoying pile of poop, they ruin the experience for the vast majority of people there, then they shouldn't be allowed to come. That's the consequences of their actions. They need to live with that. People like this staunch vegan here isolate themselves from others. They alienate themselves from their friends and family. It's a common thing. They get so caught up in this self-righteous vegan dogma that it becomes the most important thing in their lives, above their family, above their friends, above their relationships, because to them, you're a worthless piece of shit unless you're a vegan like them. So of course, they're going to treat you as such. They're going to treat you as a less than individual. They're going to step on you like some fucking gum on the sidewalk. If that's how they're going to treat you, then fuck them. Now we've got an edit here. Edit 1, a little more context. Erin absolutely knows her behavior is annoying. My mother straight up told her what we were all thinking when she made the diabetes comment to my dad. Erin also does not handle criticism well. If I went and told her that she was not welcome to the barbecue this year, she would do the same thing that she is doing now and complain to her parents and my spouse and likely show up to the barbecue anyway. I believe planning the barbecue while she was away was the best thing to do, but she can't prove that I did it on purpose. And as far as my spouse and my other in-laws know, it was just a coincidence and not my intention at all. So no one knows I did this except for Reddit. I get the logic of, oh, she would show up anyway. I would tell her to f***ing leave. I'm not playing. Like, if I'm telling someone you are not invited to my home and you show up, I'm telling you to leave. Like, I will not play games with you, even if you are my family. I don't care. If I don't want you there and you show up, I'm telling you to leave. And if people want to leave with you because they don't want to see you be treated like, I don't care. You were not invited. You are not welcome. It's that simple. Now, edit 2, some more context. I did not tell my spouse of my plan for this year's barbecue, but he knew that I did not want her over again. However, when I planned the barbecue the same week she was out of town, no one, and I mean absolutely no one, asked, what about Erin? Not my spouse, not any of my in-laws. The only time anyone even brought her up at the barbecue was when my side of the family made private comments to me asking if she was going to show up. My mother was ready to throw down. Virtually everyone smiled ear to ear when I said she was out of town. Now, this seems like an expert level play, like a 200 IQ play. Everybody's happy. Everybody's glad she's not there. He literally, or I'm sorry, she. I don't know why in my head this original poster's he. The original poster's she. She literally saved everybody that day by not having Erin there. So there's no reason for anybody to be upset with her. She made an incredible call. This was 100,000 IQ play for certain. Now here's an update. Update number 1. I did not expect this to blow up the way it did, and apparently one of you knows Erin in real life and sent her screenshots of this post asking if this was about her. I feel very weirded out by it, but I understand that posting this to Reddit was a risk. So Erin has been blowing up my spouse's phone since this morning and is screaming that he should divorce me for being a catalyst for hurt and deception, and that I'm a malignancy on her family that needs to be cut off. But, funnily enough, after showing me her text, my spouse turned to me and said, my mom and already knew you did it on purpose, but we didn't want to say anything, so we both just had a good laugh. I told my spouse that his family needs to sit her down or get an intervention or something, because going forward, I refuse to engage with Erin in person or by phone. She's their problem, not mine. He said after seeing the comments on this thread, he's gonna back me up 100%. There's so much more I could say about why I think Erin is the way she is, but I'm sure she would appreciate it if I didn't. So Erin, if you're reading this, accept the reality check and know that literally everyone is sick of your shit. And I wouldn't comment anything if I were you, because these Redditors will more than likely find out your real name and background, and I don't think you can handle that. Now we're just gonna go ahead and finish this up right here. So this is the last update, update number 2. My mother-in-law, Erin's mother, recently told me that Erin was very upset, paranoid about being doxxed, but I assured her that I wouldn't post any of her private info. So a few hours ago, Erin reached out to my spouse and apologized for her behavior and for how she treated my side of the family, especially my dad. We've decided to just go no contact for a while and let things simmer down and probably test the waters again during holidays. These are baby steps, but looks to be steps in the right direction. Thank you to everyone who commented, and please no doxing. Now I'm gonna rain down the opinions here, things I want to talk about, the criticisms. First off, Erin, I've brought this up a billion times. You guys have been watching my channel for a while. You know that when I bring up vegans, I'm talking about people like this woman all the time. They are so abundant. I know a lot of people like to say, oh yeah, not all vegans are like this, which is very true. I know that for a fact. I've had vegan friends, I've had vegan family members, and yeah, they're not all like this crazy lady. But the problem is, so many are. And what is the reason for that? It's like, people have been saying that veganism is a mental illness, which obviously isn't true, but it is a funny thought because it is probably a product of being deficient in these nutrients that are really essential for your brain to function. I mean, B12 literally can make you maniacal. Like, not having it can literally make you maniacal, like that vegan teacher, which is a common thing that these vegans have been displaying for a long time, especially these ones on Reddit. Erin is not some sort of isolated case. There are so many just like her, and that's why these videos are going to be quite abundant. You're going to be seeing a lot of them. And it's concerning. It's concerning that this moral superiority, this need to save the animals when you're not even accomplishing that, somehow triumphs above the relationships with your own family. She needed to be humbled by every single person in the family, by people on Reddit, by so many sources to apologize, because she doesn't believe she's done anything wrong. She's convinced herself that she is above everybody, that she is the only one with moral agency. Like, she's created this persona of herself. And so many vegans embody this in the same exact way, because you got to remember, to them, it's not just about the diet, it's a lifestyle. And it's almost the same thing. It's basically like one-to-one with people that get extremely religious and they try to convert everybody and they start attacking your character, your decisions, everything you do, because, you know, you're not turning your life over to Christ or not doing it in the way that they want you to. It's really sad, and it's concerning to watch people do this, because they're not just doing it to themselves and, like, you know, their older family members, but then when they have children, they do it to the kids. And the kids, unless they are somehow able to just fully think for themselves and not be corrupted by the opinions of their family members and the beliefs of their family members, will end up going to school and treating their own friends that way. And then they become isolated from peers because they can't connect with them because they're vegan and they don't have the same moral understandings. And so when, you know, their friend Jacob is sitting there eating a ham sandwich, they're sitting there judging him for it. They're like, why are you eating that? My mom said that that's torture, that that's murder, that you're promoting the rape and abuse of mother dairy cows. But when you consume any animal products, this is your fault, you know? And it's really, really harmful. It's really sad to see this sort of thing becomes so prevalent, but this is the vegan movement right now. This is where we're at, and I don't think it's going to be getting better anytime soon. Y'all, if you enjoyed this video, don't go anywhere just a second. I also have a true crime channel, which is very different from this, but I know there's a good handful of y'all that are definitely interested in that sort of content. So if you are, click this video on the screen right now. Anyway, till next time.